What's going on, guys? Chunky back here on my channel. I'm back with a vlog today. I'm going to talk about my favorite films of all time and my favorite game of all time, just to add a little bit of context about myself and add a little bit of who Chunky is to my channel if you didn't know already. There's been so many introductions to myself with my original introduction, which was just horrendous. I look so different to my Chunky's World reintroduction, I guess. That fleshed out my channel a little bit more. I'd had more experience in front of camera, but I'll talk about my favorite films and my favorite game and why they're so important to me to this very day. So firstly, it's a really weird setup because I'm doing 3 films in one game, but I can't think of any more off the top of my head because those particular 3 films and this particular one game is just so ingrained in my head and my memory that it's really hard to just think of anything else or add anything to that. Before I get going, guys, I just want to say thank you to all my supporters, but we're almost at 100 subs, but we're not there yet. So please hit that subscribe button down below. You'll be doing me a huge favor, and stay on board with all my future upcoming content because there'll be plenty. I'm always looking to add new things, change new things, shake things up, and overall just bring more content to you guys. So with that said, let's get straight into it. Now, my 3 favorite films. Number 1 is The Godfather. The Godfather is such an important film to me because it just gets better every single time I watch it. Now, I'll be honest, the first time I watched this film, I had no fucking idea what was going on. I couldn't keep up with it. I found it quite boring, and I just thought it was too long, and I couldn't really wrap around the story. It wasn't saying anything important to me. I might have been a bit too young. The Godfather isn't as violent as everyone says it is. It is very violent, but it's violent in patches. It's not as violent as something like Scarface or any of these over-the-top action films like a Schwarzenegger film. It's not even as violent as that. It's just very realistic when it is violent. So it's a very adult film. I probably shouldn't have watched it as, as young as I was. But every time I watch it, it just adds more context. I really understand how important the characters are. The story is really fantastic. It just is. I know it sounds like I'm preaching about this film because it's like the top film everywhere. Like at least 1 or 2 of the best films ever made. But it's really good. And if you are mature enough to wrap your head around the concepts of the film, it's very powerful. It's saying something important about family. And I just appreciate it every time I watch it. I watch the trilogy of the Godfather films once, sometimes twice, every single year without fail. So I can't imagine anything overtaking my love for The Godfather. My second favorite film is The Empire Strikes Back. Yes, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, if you didn't know already, and Empire Strikes Back is without a doubt my favorite Star Wars film. It has so much going on in it, and there's so much that I remember. Being a nostalgic film as well, I did see it when I was really young. I enjoyed it in a different way, but I still loved it. There were so many moments in The Empire Strikes Back which stuck out to me more than any of the prequels or any of the really original films for that matter. The Battle of Hoth, training in Dagobah, everyone going to Cloud City, Luke taking on Darth Vader at the end and finding out that Darth Vader's his father. Oh my god, spoilers, but everyone knows that. But just really important as well to me. However, I did enjoy it at a much younger age. I still love it now, like The Godfather and like the next film that I'm going to talk about. It gets better with age. It gets better every time I watch it. You point out something new. You take something new back with you. Just one of the better science fiction films ever made, and my favorite Star Wars film. And last but not least, my third favorite film of all time is Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. Just the benchmark for the action-adventure genre. Steven Spielberg and George Lucas are 2 geniuses. They knew exactly what they were doing with this film. It pays respect and homage to all those action serials of the 1930s. Something that's over the top but remains fun and faithful and just classic in every sense of the word. Great performance from Harrison Ford, obviously one of the more important characters in film history. Everyone knows who Indiana Jones is. Definitely my favorite out of the original Indiana Jones trilogy. I don't count Kingdom of the Crystal Skull because it is my least favorite Indiana Jones film. But out of the 3 films, I remember watching Temple of Doom when I was a kid. It's probably the first one that I actually saw. Scared the piss out of me. And The Last Crusade is also really, really, really freaking good. Up there as well as one of the better adventure films of all time. But Raiders of the Lost Ark is so classic, it's so iconic, so many moments that I remember that stick out to me. Everyone's seen Indiana Jones running from the boulder. Everyone knows that. Anyone who's seen it, I should say, would remember, you know, the fight under the plane with the big bald dude. You remember the truck chase where Indy gets shot and just jumps from car to car, goes under the car with the whip. There's so many iconic moments. Obviously, don't look at the Ark because your face will melt off. Just so many iconic moments that I will not forget anytime soon. So, if that was anything about me, they're my 3 favorite films. A little bit of drama, I like serious things, I love science fiction, and I love adventure as well. Now, I wanted to put my favorite game of all time second, and it's probably not my favorite game, it's probably more my favorite series, because I do love every game within this series, and it's the Uncharted series. Now, obviously, like I said, I'm a huge Indiana Jones fan, and Uncharted is pretty much an amalgamation, a mix of Tomb Raider and Indiana Jones. I love the character of Nathan Drake, just a really cool, sarcastic character. I think he's modeled off Nathan Fillion from Firefly, but just a great character nonetheless. A great supporting cast like Elena and Sully. Number 1 is like Uncharted Light. Number 2 is actually my favorite game of all time. Uncharted 2 just set the bar. It was such an improvement over the first one. And it did so many important things for gaming, telling a serious story, taking its audience seriously, giving us amazing graphics for the time, amazing gameplay. It just felt like you were playing an action film, and for that I loved it. I'll never forget my experience with Uncharted 2. Uncharted 3 is really, some people call it better than Uncharted 2 because it does more. There's huge set pieces. The graphics are arguably better. I don't know if the story's better. There are a few things that it falters over, like it explores the history of Nathan Drake, that it doesn't really touch it again. There's not enough context in certain areas. The villains are a little flat compared to Lazarevich from Uncharted 2. But overall, an important game in the series and something that you should play as well. As well as that, Uncharted 4, definitely one of my second favorite Uncharted game. Once again, just probably my second favorite because it does split itself. It does set the bar even higher than Uncharted 3, brings even more. Yes, it's on the next generation of consoles, which is an unfair advantage because it's hard to compare to the last generation. But beautiful, gorgeous graphics, a really heartfelt, touching, emotional story about brotherhood, and overall just an awesome action experience. Unlike Uncharted 2, you just feel like you're playing an action-adventure film the whole way through. So that's a little bit about me, guys. They're my favorite films. That's my favorite series of games. And I hope to be back soon with some more vlogs about different things about me that I can talk to you guys about. If you have a favorite film or a favorite game, please comment down below and like this vid down below as well. And like I said at the start, guys, we're almost there to 100 subscribers. Please click that subscribe button down below. You'll be doing me a huge favor, and we're almost there. And to everyone that's stuck by me so far, thank you so much for your support. It means the world to me. This has been Chunky. Thanks for stopping by my world, and I'll see you soon. Take care.